We sell books about plants, sell books about where they use these plants. How can I know? I kept with those questions in my head, and I kept asking myself, how do I do this? So I went back to school. With the knowledge I had, I started going to the bush and collect these plants. I started, my first product I was making was this one, Centella asiatica. So I went to the university, Bugema University, those who know it, it has a farm. In that farm, they planted many moringa trees that they don't use. And these plants are also there, so many of them, even when they have pythons there. But I made sure I utilize what they don't like. So I talked to the farm manager and I said, please allow me get the moringa leaves. He said, we wanted even to cut them. I said, please don't. So every lecturer, every after class, I would go to the farm to harvest these and harvest moringa. In the university compound, in one of the staff quarters, so I would pick from the farm, dry from there. I attend class, go and these things in the dryer. And I started packing these plants. At the same time, I started packing charcoal. And then selling to students and selling to the university staff. And we were going for a practicum, evangelism practicum, and we were sent to Bamnanika. That was the first place to go. It was the first place I used things in nature to help people get well. I got there, I did not have charcoal, and I made charcoal out of peanut husks. You know peanuts? Peanut husks. I made that charcoal there and packed it and prepared it to be used on patients. My first patient was a man who had suffered a boil on the leg. The Baganda here, they know that when you suffer a boil on the leg, it keeps moving and growing and the leg swells until you die. And they don't allow you to use any medication from the hospital. That the moment you get any medication, you die. You know what they call a taro, isn't it? So this man comes, and I get my charcoal, made from what? Yes. I apply the poultice, I treat him. He was carried like the man they sent through the roof. He was carried to the crusade side. So I applied the poultice. The next morning, he came with a stick, limping himself. And we did another treatment. In a short time, he was okay. A woman came from the garden an evening. She had a swollen foot. She said, my foot is swollen. Something has bitten me. I don't know what it is. I put charcoal, and this drop there was my grandmother. And I kept saying, my grandmother is special. Her teeth can come out. She washes them and pushes them back. It was fun and it was interesting. I did not know that it's because she lost most of her teeth. And I realized that in our farm, in that lineage, many people were losing what? Teeth. So at one time, I realized my teeth was shaking and shaking. So when the teeth is shaking, what do? You remove, isn't it? So I kept removing and removing. I discovered I'm going to become a grandmother. So what happened? I learned about this plant, goat collar, that it helps with teeth. So do you know what I did? I just picked a few leaves. I chewed. The teeth that was shaking, in a few days, it stopped shaking. And I saved my teeth. Even now, a teeth shakes, it stops. But now, there's a difference here. This one will stop the teeth from shaking, but this one will let the teeth come out. This one is shiny, this one is not shiny. So if you don't know the difference between them, you mess up. Are we together? Because some people, when the teeth is shaking and they want it out, they chew this one. But when you want the teeth to stay, chew this one. The shaking will stop. Huh? Shiny one, out. This one, the one that is not shiny, stays. Now, the last thing about this, I was told that there's a man who lived up to 240 years. He was taking tea of these leaves, just 2 of them every day. Yes, was eating only these, was taking tea religiously every day. He takes his Centella satica leaves. We'll get there, so let's get started. Everyone? Yeah. Okay, the greatest book, medical book we have is what? The Bible. Know ye not that the Lord is good? It is he that has made us, and not we ourselves. We are his people, and the sheep of what? Of his pasture, yes. So we have a manual, just like any electronic. We have this manual. And God has given us these laws of health to keep us healthy. And so someone shared with us disease. And we know that disease is an effort of nature to free the system from what? From conditions that result from a violation of the laws of what? Of health. So if you know this is the definition of disease, so your focus in case someone has disease is to make sure you help the body complete its task of freeing itself of the conditions that are coming from the violation of the laws of health. And so, when we have coughing, sneezing, runny nose, fever, diarrhea, some of these are letting us know that the body wants to get rid of some of the unwanted things that came because of violation of the laws of health. Just like mopping and cleaning a house. You want to clean and remove things out. So when we treat symptoms, it's like mopping a floor while the water continues to do what? To pour. So you have a headache, you want something for headache. You're actually cleaning a house while the water is continuing to do what? To pour. So what do? Close the tap. Alcohol. Do you use alcohol? Do you use bread? Do you use cakes? Do you take sugars? All these things are in there. Do you use coffee? Do you use tea? If they say yes, then you know it's an issue. Do you take fruits and vegetables daily? Do you take whole cereals? Do you use oils? Any zeros you can cancel here. So when you see that it's getting zeros, then you know, before we give you anything, we see, but we need to get there. So God has given us food as medicine. Hallelujah. You get sick, you eat this, you get well. And what does the Bible say? Psalms 104:14 says, he causes the grass to grow for the cattle and the herb for the service of man, that he may bring forth what? Food out of the earth. Herbs and grass. They say grass for the cattle and herbs for the what? For man. But I realized that all the grass, most of the grass is nutritional. Nutritious, all the grass. Most of the grass. There are even these grasses that are very tiny, a bit long, they make like a small bush. Here in Uganda they call them jija. You know jija? They come and surround and make a small thing and then they grow together, tall like that. It's the most nutritious grass of all grasses here. It's not parsley. Grass with leaves, grass. I wish I had time to talk about grass. So these grasses, nutritious. For all of us. Yeah. The plants we say they are for cattle, but you have heard about alfalfa? How many know about alfalfa? How many use it, the leaves? Okay. Why is it called alfalfa? It's called the father of plants. The father of plants. The father of plants. Why the father of plants? Alfalfa, where you plant it, I've planted it before, here. When you plant it here, right here on any soil, if it gets rooted, even if you cut the leaves to stay. But that's not enough. It sends its roots 45 feet down the ground. How many feet? What is it looking for? Those precious nutrients that your body needs, and brings them into the leaf. The other day, Jim was telling us that the plants are the producers. They compose and put things together and give you the nutrients packed. So alfalfa goes down, gets those nutrients in them, and then they give you free of charge. Huh? Even to cattle, yes. So God causes these grasses for us, and these we need to use. In the garden, God said we should eat herb-bearing seeds, include seeds. Actually, here we realize that most seeds, or all seeds in the wilderness, they are edible. All seeds. If you ask the Ethiopians, they have teff. But how big are they? Very tiny. Seeds as that size and bigger can be food. But the problem is we have learned that we know ugali, we know this, and the rest we don't care about them. But I want to tell you, the rest are food for us. I was sharing with the Master Guide class what I was teaching them edible wild plants. I told them, we have come to know the foods we have come to know, just because we found them there. And why we found them is because our parents were navigating, looking around places, and whatever they could find, they taste. If it is edible, they try it, and they start producing more of it. But the rest that they did not taste, it remained there. And we think it is not edible. But look at teff in Ethiopia. If you brought it here, people will say it's a grass. But them, it's what? Food. Even the government does not want anyone to carry it out of the country. They want it to stay there. So some of these seeds are there for us. Some of the grasses are there, edible. We're supposed to eat them. In this generation where we have new foods that are just genetically modified, where foods are adulterated, where foods are filled with chemicals and all sorts of things, God has grasses and other plants that are edible, that have nothing to do with chemicals, that we can eat and be satisfied. Hallelujah. And if we know how to use them, our life will be enjoyable. We will enjoy them, and we'll enjoy good health. So God has them there for us. And some of you worry if we get in the bad times and we don't have what to eat. I tell you, don't worry. There are many foods that you've never tasted. One time I climbed the mountain for the sake of being interested in climbing mountains. And I reached somewhere and I found there are fruits that look like a pineapple. But this size, you can grab it like this. And very sweet. And I asked these people, do you know this fruit? They said, this is one of the fruits our grandparents used to enjoy, but it is seated there on the highest points of the mountain. Some people sometimes bring the fruits down, but the young children, they say, these ones we don't know, we want pineapple, this one we don't know. Those fruits are there. There are many fruits that are there for us to eat, but we have to have a change of mind from what we know to what God has in store. You know what he said in Psalms 50? That he owns the whole world and everything therein. You remember that? And he says he has 1,000 hills and a lot of cattle in it. So we may think the cattle we have here is the only cattle that is there in the world. And God says, I have cattle seated on 1,000 hills. Cattle on 1,000 hills. Now, how many hills do we know? If God calls a hill, how big is that hill? It's not Mountain Renzora and the mountains we know. And we know those animals that go there. But God has his own hills. And he has his cattle there. And so he has plenty. So he has given us what he has given us. We don't need to be selective in choosing what he has given us. We need to know what are these and how to use them. And so we can have good health. In correcting our eating, in nutrition, you have to consider these things. If everyone has to eat a balanced diet, please remember these things. Balanced diet will involve fruits, grains, vegetables, seeds, legumes, nuts. If you're only eating ugali and beans and you think it's a balanced diet and you think you're a vegetarian and therefore yourself, you're going to be malnourished and people will say, oh, so you mean vegetarians look like this? And everyone will hate, will not want to be a vegetarian. Are we together? So if we are choosing to be vegetarian, let us balance. Make sure every day you have a share of these seeds. You don't need so much, just a few fruits, grains, seeds, legumes, nuts, vegetables. Make sure you have a share of these at least every day. If you don't eat them, then your body is going to be missing out on certain things. These are what we call vegetables, some of them. And so we need them. Those are plant-based foods. The original diet that was given us involved herbs. And so I've shared this and that's going to fly. So someone said, let your food be your medicine and let your medicine be what? Be your food. If you eat food as medicine, you'll pay attention to it because you don't want to miss on your dosage, isn't it? You know, I need this portion, I need this portion. Now I remember the word portion. Let's read the book of Ezekiel, chapter 4. I left my Bible there. Okay, read chapter 4, verse 9 and 11. Just to complement this, and then we fly into other things. Ezekiel chapter 4. Some of us, Ezekiel chapter 4, verse 9 and 10 and 11. When we're talking about the Daniel's deity, that we read about in Daniel chapter 1, verse 8, where Daniel says, I will not eat this, but give me what? Vegetables and water. So many times you ask, where did he get this water? Where did he get this vegetable thing? Someone can read verse 9? Yeah. Yeah.
Ezekiel chapter 4, verse. Take thou also unto thee wheat.
Now, those are the foods. We start with the vegetables. Daniel 8. Someone be counting how many they are. Wheat.
Wheat. And barley.
Barley.
And beans.
Beans.
Lentils.
Lentils.
Millet.
Millet.
Fishes.
Sorghum. How many? 6. Okay. Are we there? Read again. Read again.
Verse 9. Take thou also unto thee wheat. And barley.
Barley.
And beans.
Beans.
And lentils.
Lentils.
And millet.
Millet.
And fishes.
And sorghum, which is called filches or pelts.
Or spelt.
Yeah. So look at those foods. How many in a day can eat those foods? How much do you eat every day? How many eat all these kinds of foods in a day? Like you have eaten millet, you have eaten sorghum, you have eaten wheat, you have eaten barley. At the end of the day, you have eaten peas, you have eaten beans, you have eaten... At the end of the day, how many? Like you eat variety. At the end of the day, you have tasted all these. Your mouth has digested them and they're there, and the nutrients are spreading in your blood. How many? So, that is the food he ate. If you choose to eat only one single food, and just 2 things, and you've not eaten things together, many things, a variety, you miss out. So no wonder Daniel at the end of that 10 days, he was looking what? After 10 days, he was looking what? Stronger, fatter. Verse 17, Daniel 1:17 says, even the brain was working smarter. You can read the next verse. He will talk about something else. Portions and what?
Let me continue.
Yeah.
And put them in one vessel, and make thee bread thereof, according to the number of the days that thou shalt lie upon thy side. 390 days shalt thou eat thereof. Verse 10. And thy meat which thou shalt eat shall be by weight, 20 shekels a day. From time to time shalt thou eat it.
Okay, I need that one. Your food shall be measured. Are we together? shall be what? Measured. And you shall eat one time and another time, not continuously. Time to time. Measured. In other words, you could call it a portion. You should have a portion, a daily portion, measured, time to time. Do we eat measured food? You know the food we eat here called posho? How many know posho? Okay, you know posho. What is posho? It's maize, pulp. How did you get the name posho? How did you get the name posho? It was during the construction of Uganda Railways. The railway that was coming all the way from, was it Kenya up to here, Mombasa up to here. So these Kenyans, they came with that meal, maize meal, as brown as it is. And so the Ugandans, when the railway came close and the Ugandans were involved into the construction of Uganda Railway, they got to see that at lunchtime, a certain time, people are called to go and get a meal. So the white people were telling these people, please go and pick your portion. Are we together? Go and pick your what? Your portion. So they would go with their containers and they get served their portion. So the name started going on, posho, posho, posho. So we know it is called posho. But where is the name coming from? They were being served their daily portion. Are we together? And the Ugandan, they said, this food looks black. It's for those people from Kenya. For us, we don't like those food that is black. So that's when they started purifying that posho and make it white. But the name stayed posho. What do we want to pick from there? A portion, a measured meal size. Not just eating. So it is there. So Daniel, when he chose to eat, he did not just eat, he ate a portion. All together. Verse 11 says what?
It reads, Thou shalt drink also water by measure.
Water. By what?
Measure.
Portion. By measure.
The sixth part of an hin. From time to time shalt thou drink.
The sixth part of a hin is actually 8 cups or 8 glasses. Yes. Are we together? So these are biblical. It's not just from portion, meal size, time to time. Even water, there's by measure, time to time. You don't just drink water. Drink water in its time, food in its own time, by measure. So if you're drinking less water, you have problems. I was told that every day you lose about 5 cups of water. How many cups? You lose 5. So after losing 5, how many do you take daily? Sometimes you don't take water. I was doing a calculation with some people about what I said. Let's count. How many drink at least 2 cups of water? So there were so many. So we counted 2 cups of water is what you take. You have a balance of how many out of 8? How many? 6. So we calculated 6 cups of water. The water date, isn't it? So 6 cups as a water date from day 1, day 2, day 3, day 4 for the whole year. We discovered that it is many liters. When I converted into jerry cans of 20 liters each, there were about 50 jerry cans of 20 liters each. Just 1 year. Are we together? So if you have been taking only 2 cups of water daily, you have a water debt of 50 jerry cans of water per year. And actually, I told some people that I need to close you here and bring those jerry cans out there. When you finish taking the 50 liters of water debt, then you go out. So because of the water debt, water burden, we get this back pain, this mental fatigue. The brain cannot work very well. We have fevers. Your body is hot all the time, even when it is cold, and many other things, because you have a water what? Debt. You have constipation, many things. Kidneys start failing, you have a water debt. So who is going to pay the debt for you? Who can pay it? You have to pay it yourself. Yeah, I've seen some people reduce. God bless you. So keep taking this water, and then you pay the water debt. So even if you are having a plant that is working like a miracle, are we together? Works like a miracle. It takes care of all those problems. But with the water debt, will it work? So no wonder some people will say, I've been using your treatment, it has not worked on me. What's the problem? The laws of health are not followed. Someone has a water debt to fix. And this someone will tell you, I was walking in the market, then I saw someone with, bring that plastic jerry can. Yeah. I want to practical so you see what I'm talking about. Yeah, just bring that. I saw someone who was selling herbs, and he was selling this jerry can, and said it takes care of 100 diseases. And I bought it. And since I started drinking it, my health has changed. The herb was cooked and put in what? This. And the other guy said, make sure you finish this in 3 days. So I was drinking in 3 days. And another one was given. Within a week, he has paid a lot of water debts and feels much better. And he will keep going there and not coming to you. Why? You gave only herbs, you didn't give. So if you do perfect assessment, you will realize how much water they are missing. Give them water. And then see. Give treatments following those things. And then some people with joint pains, those arthritis and what, no matter how good the product is, we give them things that have turmeric and stuff. But if they are not taking water, my friend, no improvement. The turmeric will not work. There's some man I found in Ethiopia. He was bedridden. He had coiled I don't know how to express, but he was seated with his legs coiled like this and stiff. He had his hand like here. He's sleeping in a bed like this. Very old. He had become very old. His son is in America. They had bought for him the massage bed. There's this bed that has balls that roll and roll. So he would sleep there, they turn on the electricity, then they roll and massage his back and things. So the son said, this is a miracle, it's going to help, because they talked about it. It massages the whole body, it is infrared, it is what. But the man had used it for long and it had not worked. So I met this man, I visited him, I looked at him, his muscles were all stiff. You know a dry skin of an animal? Stiff like it, there are ropes, very hard. I asked, how much water does he take? He doesn't drink water. And you know, with age, the more you age, the less water you drink. Mom, you hear? For a meal as we were living. Yes. Yes. So how many are 4 liters? 8. So how many are 4 liters? 8 cups. Yeah. Yeah, 1/6, but they are 4 liters. 4 liters, 8 cups. Do we agree? 8 cups. Do we agree? So it is scientific, it is BP malaria. Hey, all of us didn't get malaria, but he had malaria because we were sleeping outside and had mosquitoes. He got malaria. He went to the hospital. They gave him treatment. After a short time, into products that can be easily used. As for me, sometimes I pack this, I make these powders for myself and put in a container. I just put as tea and drink, and I move on. Once in a while, they detox. It does detox and then gives healing. So many plants, the medical world, they have seen them, how good they are. They get them, take them to the industry, they pick things from them, and then they make drugs out of it. But when you take the drugs directly, they will not work like the plant you picked from the garden. True or false? There's a new plant, there's a new drug in Uganda they made it out of moringa. They discovered that moringa is very nutritious. Actually, it's very nutritious. I'll share with you about moringa. So they discovered that people with HIV, the immune system can be boosted by moringa, and that is true. And they discovered that they also suffer from deficiency of selenium. So what they decided is to put selenium with moringa, and they made a capsule. So they are selling it in the country here, and it is very expensive. So why can't I use my moringa? And where do I get selenium? From many plants. Many plants give us selenium. Just get selenium and moringa and enjoy. Yes?
Moringa treats almost any disease.
Yes.
From leaves to roots to the barks.
Yeah. So today, 25% of all prescription drugs are still derived from what? From trees, from shrubs and herbs. And if we get them directly, we'll be much better. You want to say something? Someone give him a mic.
Actually, currently in our country, in the management of tuberculosis, there is that supplement of moringa. It is a very common practice that we do in hospitals. For people on TB, because of the wasting that they go through, they actually supplement them with moringa for replenishing their nutritional status.
Yeah, I'm going to talk about moringa in a while, so fasten your belts. Or you want me to stop now? Okay, why medicinal plants? You cannot be addicted on herbs. You cannot be addicted on them. Apart from those they use, but the way they use them, they smoke and what? But if you drink as tea, many people are not addicted on them. The history says they are safe to use and they are efficient. There's no therapeutic processes necessary, just a few things. Generally, few to no or negative side effects. They are very few. There's some plants that are really have issues, and we always tell you, if you're going to use it this way. But they also come for complicated cases. That's where they need to be employed. So, biblical examples of the use of natural remedies. John 9:1-7, Jesus uses what? Clay, isn't it? Uses clay. And Isaiah, there's a fig poultice. Fig. Some of us think the fig is the one that is in the New Testament, but we have this tree in many forms. It's called ficus. Omtuba is a fig, and many other, it's a family, ficus. So these can be used as a poultice for many problems. And also grape juice, even the grapes can be used as medicine. Those are some examples, but there are so many examples in the Bible that we can derive about the use of plants. And we can use them. I'll skip this one, using the mud for skin and the treatment using... You want... Okay, there, this one. Okay, we can use that for skin. That's what? We call it what? Geo-earth, yeah. Yeah, geotherapy, using the earth as therapy. So you get a bath in there, you get all the clay. Very effective. It does detox and repairs all your cells, and you get well. We need to have fruits and vegetables, but remember the combinations. That we don't mix fruits with vegetables, or else we create what? Indigestion. And what about aloe vera? Now we talk about plants. Aloe vera, how many use aloe vera freely? Good. Aha. It is high in sulfur. It's a green plant, of course. It's related to the garlic family. So where you don't have garlic, take aloe vera. Where you don't have aloe vera, take garlic. Family, same family. So they help. And the other thing about aloe vera that I know is it helps your cells, body cells, to build very well. Yeah. Aloe vera in the Bible is one plant that is common in the Bible. Many places, Numbers, Psalms, and even in songs, the woman says, my bed is spread with what? Aloes. Yeah. And someone was telling me that aloe, it has to do something to do with God. That every home in the East, the Arabs, you see Allah is there? There's the word Allah there? Allah. Yes. That every home should have a plant of an aloe in the home. Are we there? If you're loved by Allah, please have a plant of aloe vera. It shows this home gives honor to Allah. But aloe vera is one plant you should have in the home for first aid, for burns. I like it for burns. If you pressing cloth and somehow the flat iron goes on you, don't panic. Just get an aloe, smear there. Even if it is burning, after some time it will stop. You'll not see a scar, you'll not see a blister, and after many days, you'll see something wearing off. And you'll see a very new skin forming without a scar. But if you delay, you get a scar. Yes.
Vitamin C and tied the wall. Oh, sorry.
Say again, so they can
Okay.
capture that.
In fact, what happened, there's a lady who burned her face with the hot water. So what we had to use aloe vera mixed with the vitamin C. And the face was actually bandaged completely. She could not even open her eyes for a week. But when we took off the bandage, the skin was back to normal. No scar, nothing. She didn't even look like she was burned.
Aloe vera.
Aloe vera is very, very good.
So everyone should keep it in the home for first aids. You never know when someone will be burnt, and you just apply the whole thing and it helps. So it's in different varieties. It has many active compounds in the juice, if you juice it, and very good. It has vitamins, minerals, enzymes, amino acids, all these things, steroids, lectin, lignins, and saponins. Very good. You need to use it. If your immune system is suppressed, you need to take aloe vera. It is an anti-inflammatory, antibacterial, antiviral. It helps with the liver, elimination and healing function. If you're stuck with things in the colon and intestines, you take aloe vera, it will help push them out. And then autoimmune and immune system helps. So what conditions? Acne, anemia, allergies, attention deficit disorder. How many know that condition? Attention deficit disorder. Someone who is here but is there. Is present but what? Absent. Yes. Then arthritis, asthma, autoimmune, bladder infections, burns, cancer, candida, cardiovascular disease, colds, flu, constipation, dental, oral hygiene, dandruff for the hair, detoxifying, cleansing, diabetes, blood sugar, digestive disorders. Hey, the list is endless. Hemorrhoids, hepatitis, liver disorders, immune system, sinus, and many other things. Aloe vera. So get the varieties of aloe vera. Keep it in the house. Keep it in your compound. There are these thick ones. You can chop and get that green thing, that light skin, light colored thing, and you eat, you enjoy it, put it in your salads. Once in a while, put in your juice. Take once in a while. Okay, I need to wind up. There are many plants that you know about these, the ones we get from outside. And now let me show you, those who are making products, there are some of the things you can do. If you're making pain salve, something for pain, you can do the following combinations. You can take pictures. 7 tablespoons of cayenne pepper, 3 tablespoons of ginger powder, 1 teaspoon of peppermint oil, and 1 of wintergreen oil, and this plant of oil or wax. Wax works better, beeswax. Are we there? I thought you're taking pictures. Okay. Garlic oil recipe. I want to run some physical plants that we know. Please allow me. But before I get there, let me share with you some things that you must know. These things you should know. Tell your neighbor you should know these things. Tell your neighbor, please, you should know these things. Yes. What are the things? 1, plants. If you're going to use plants, plants should not be used continuously without end. Without end. Like you use plants, you say, they told me got cola, so I use got cola every day, the whole year. I use aloe vera every day, whole year. I use garlic every day, whole year. Don't use them continuously. Use for a period, break, and start again later. Have you noticed, those of you who always look out for fruits and vegetables, that there are fruits that appear in certain seasons and disappear in a certain season? Especially those who have natural plants. Does it happen in South Africa? Yours are just come anytime because they are GMOs. But here, we have a season for mangoes. We eat mangoes and mangoes and mangoes and mangoes. After some time, they disappear. Then we have a season for pineapples. Pineapples. Those seasons are there. We have seasons for different fruits. So when these things come at a certain time, that's when we should eat them. When a season of mangoes comes, eat the mangoes as much as you want, because God has provided for us during that time. If you miss that season, you'll go with a date to the next season. Then when the other season comes, please enjoy those fruits that come in season. So we should eat herbs, use herbs seasonally. And some of them we need to use when we are sick. Remember, we need to eat food, not herbs. Herbs come in to do what? To deal with assisting what? Nature. They're not coming to fix correct habits. They're assisting nature. 2, plant formulas shouldn't contain too many varieties. There are some people who are making formulas. I go to herbalists and they tell me, this product here, it has 10 different strong plants. That is when I hear that statement, I collapse. 10 different what? Plants together. 10. You put all the 10 together from different families together. What do you get? You get another war in heaven, isn't it? So there are many things that happens. 1, These plants can combine and make toxins, and they deposit the toxins in your body. And if they are given for cancer, they may even help the cancers to spread very fast. They may also get there and stop your organs from functioning. They may also get there and turn out to be nothing. This one comes, dilutes this one, and they do nothing. And in the end, you say, I've been taking this thing and no effect. So there's a principle. When we're combining plants, we don't combine more than 4. And you should have a formula. What is the formula? The major component, the key component that you want to use. Like I want, for example, this one is for the brain also. I didn't mention that. I'll talk about it. If I want this, and because of the other chemical compound that I need in there is here. So I'll take this one as to be the priority, isn't it? So the priority will be given a portion of about 70%. Then the other products I'm adding, the 2, one will be helping to activate the healing property in this to make it work for me or for everyone. The other I will add will be helping to deal with side effects in case there are any. Are we together? So that when you give it someone, even those who are allergic to certain things, they will manage to handle it because you've combined it with the major component, one that activates the treating compound, and one that deals with the side effects. That's the formula. But many times we put too many things together and they fail. So remember that. Number 3, the harvest of plants is as important as what? Their use. Where I come from, there are many trees from the wilderness that are very medicinal, but let me tell you one thing. Some of them, we get the barks. The bark. From the stem, you peel that bark, isn't it? The part that you are harvesting matters. There are some plants that we can harvest the bark, any part, but there are some, if the sun is coming from this way and goes this way, we are not going to get the part where the sun hits when it is going, when it is coming. We get the part from this side. Are we together? And it is discovered that this part becomes very toxic and this one is less toxic. Are we together? So if you're getting from people, know that these people know how to harvest. Some people will just get the entire plant. But some plants, one part will be toxic and the other will not be toxic. Same plant. So you have to know how was it harvested. And some plants, you need to harvest them in the night. Some plants, you have to harvest them in the morning. Some plants, you have to harvest them in the noonday when the sun is there. So this knowledge is very important because the content of the healing components will depend on when and how you harvested. Are we together? So, in saying this, I want us to be encouraged. As medical missionaries, we have different interests. There are some of us who want to go into growing and raising these plants and want to be in the production of plants, isn't it? And there are some of us who want to be meeting patients and treating them. So we have to choose what we want. Choose. If you want to grow plants, like you have a lot of acres of land, and you want to grow a lot of plants for healing, grow the plants, then you know how to harvest them. Then you'll be harvesting and sending to someone who is treating, isn't it? So if you have the knowledge of harvesting very well, you give right things to her, her patients will get results very fast because they're getting the right things. Are we together? And if we want to do everything, you want to harvest, treat, and what? Sometimes you'll have one plant, you have already cut part of it, you don't have another, and you have to meet this patient, you'll be tempted to harvest from another part, which is toxic, and yet is not going to help. So let us know harvesting is very important. The chemical content of plants can depend on time of harvest or where they are harvested. I say that. Some plants have more toxic are more toxic, yet have healing properties. Poor formulation can enhance disease progression. I mentioned that. Practicing the health laws together with use of herbs is very important. So whereas you give plants, remember that these health laws are the most important part. Plants are just coming to do what? To assist. And we need to get more knowledge about the plants. Allow me to share with you some plants here, a few of them, and then I'll wind up. Sorry for taking your time, but it's key. So which plants should I? Soups in food, just add it there and eat. He's shouting. So for them, they were so happy and excited. He's now shouting. He's chasing us in the house. And they were so happy. So the next morning they said, what can we do? I said, if we continue the treatment, he's going to be well. But the next morning, some people said, no, he has cancer of the liver. He has to go to the hospital, and they give him what? His treatment. They took him there, gave him chemicals. Then immediately after getting the chemicals, they told me, now in his stool we saw blood. I said, okay. Then I said, you call those people who gave him chemicals so that they can tell you what to do. I said, but how? I said, now that he has chemicals, for me to start a new program is going to be very hard at that moment. And actually, he had gone stage 4 cancer, and I did not know when I was giving moringa. I just gave someone who is sick. But later they discovered he had stage 4 cancer, and so he died. But moringa had done its work. So that's what it does. So you can give moringa juice, everything will flow. So the seeds. Get seeds. This is putting moringa in the food. Let's go to the seeds. We'll go to the seeds. Some of you need to know what it does. Moringa does diarrhea cases, fungal infections, skin problems, diabetes. Actually, even diabetes. I have had a patient who was brought from hospital who had glucose level reading 25. And moringa, listen, moringa can put glucose level to 0. It can bring glucose levels to what? To 0. The fresh leaves. So we put it in juice and bring glucose levels down. But you have to keep monitoring, because it can go to 0 and you have trouble. All together. So we give with other products. We keep monitoring as they're taking that. When it gets to where we think it's comfortable, then we start other treatments. And so it does remove things and some of these products, and they're able to deliver. And we call those babies charcoal babies. There's one on Entebbe Road, there's another one there, charcoal babies. So why charcoal babies? The mothers were taking charcoal all through until they delivered. Do you notice that women, when they are pregnant, they crave for charcoal? Why? Someone told us here that the body is made up of water and carbon. So what is charcoal? How many eat carbon every day? How much carbon do you take every day? So we are deficient of carbon. We should be taking carbon every day, isn't it? When do you take food? When should you take food every We need, but because charcoal sometimes also depletes, so we take it once in a while. So it does a lot of things: appetite, depression, improves mood, hair growth, elimination, constipation, wound healing, many things it does. Blood sugar, wrinkles. Keep taking it, and wrinkles will disappear. My sister Beulah will not have wrinkles when she keeps taking this. So look at the nutritional content, many things, vitamin A. So it depends on how you use it. If you use the leaves dry, listen to this. When you use the leaves dry, the nutrients you'll find there. If you use the fresh one, the nutrients you'll find there. So which one has more nutrients? The dry has more nutrients. Yes. Dry leaves have more nutrients. If you want enzymes, there's also pineapple enzymes. So when you keep eating papaya, it protects against heart disease, improves digestion, protects eyesight. Take pictures and I'll show you something else. The milk substance in papaya, when you cut the papaya, that milk that comes out is a vermifuge, parasites from our stomach. It's a dewormer. Someone was showing us how to use it with these wounds, and also how do we use papaya seeds. I want to talk about the seeds. Boiled liquid from the seed has proven effective in the dissolving of small fat. Listen to this. Dissolving of small fat deposits in the eyes and eyelids, and dissolving fat in cases of overweight. So some people have fat in the eyes that contributing also to cataracts. So they need to take seeds, papaya seeds, to dissolve those fat deposits. And also the fats. Just boil about, what I do, I don't boil. I make the powder of the seeds and do an infusion. Seeds powder, put in the cup, pour hot water, cover for 20 minutes, then drink after. Yeah, I do that. Just keep boiling about 5 minutes or 10. Depends on your heater. I may say 5, and yet your heater blows very slowly. So depends on your heater, but bring to a boil. And when they're boiled, they'll change a little bit of color. You'll see that. So the fruit of the papaya is effective in relieving allergies and other things. Okay, preparation for the seeds. A brew from the seeds is made by boiling 30 grams of seeds in 1 cup of water for how many minutes? 5 minutes. So make sure your fire is already there. Put it there, boil for 5 minutes. That's where we say to drink 1 cup per day in what? Small doses. So just get a cup, keep sipping. As long as you want, but remember, not prolonged. We can't use these things for a long time. The maximum is 1 month. And so, you can stop 7 days, stop and then continue, that's fine. Mouthwash or gargles, in case you have wounds in the mouth. It normalizes menstrual flow and stimulates the flow of milk of nursing mothers. How do we use it? A juice made from the leaves is used to dress wounds. We can use it for dressing wounds. A decoction, boiling of the leaves, is an anti-inflammatory, styptic, alternative. The whole plant is actually anti-rheumatic. We have rheumatism, rheumatic fevers, and all these things. It is also used in enemas to treat intestinal ailments. Substances isolated from the leaves are bactericidal. In other words, they help with bacteria, fungal, and other things. So leaves eaten raw can be eaten raw or cooked. They are vegetables. They can be added to salads. Hallelujah. You're tired. Hallelujah. They can be added to salads. They are a good source of iodine. What does iodine do? When you have a wound and you pour iodine, what happens? It hurts, isn't it? You feel some pain. Get the same leaves, put it where there's a wound, you feel the same thing. There's iodine there. So if you want iodine, it's the plant source of iodine. And so the young shoots, tips are used to make tea also. An infusion prepared using the entire plant has expectorant properties, meaning it helps with cough. So what is the preparation? Infusion, meaning you put in the cup and pour hot water and cover, and then use it every day. Or boil and use it every day. The roots, leaves, and flowers are strongly phototonic. This is a caution. Please remember this. They are phototoxic. In other words, when you use them for a very long period of time, you get sensitivity to the sun. Are we together? So this takes us to the law we said. When you're using herbs, remember not to use them for a long, long time. Are we together? Whereas it is good, use for a short time, break, not continuously. Thank you for listening. May God bless you. Over to Beulah. You will lead us in prayers and other things.
Thank you so much. I'm sure I can speak on behalf of everyone that we've all been blessed getting from when we started up until now. God is good, guys, you know. God is really good. I mean, for me, this was quite practical, you know, the lessons that we were getting here, so that we can actually go home and use what we have been taught here, and we want to praise Him. Because today is a day of prayer and